Hi, my name is Jackson Hope, and I'm going to be talking to you about Android security issues and possible ways that they can improve. So to begin, we're going to talk about why the security issues are dangerous in the first place. So the current security systems allow hackers easy access into virtually anyone's files, and the things most at risk are login credentials, specifically for bank apps or apps like Venmo and Cash App, where you have a lot of important information stored. Cameras on any Android device and microphones on any Android device, and any external device connected to any Android device is at risk. So a lot of people could be affected by this. So on to how hackers actually get into your information, into your files. So first, a hacker would look for a target. So most people at risk are either particularly old or particularly young people, because they're just a little bit more gullible in the sense of IT. So they would look on social media for people like that, and email scams where they send you an email and say, one thing, and then they get your information from it one way or another. And the use of one-factor authentication is just a flawed way of doing it, because if you don't have two-factor authentication, you can't really confirm you are who you are. So once they have any information, they can get onto your system, and next they would actually have to crack your passwords, and they can do this by putting keylogging malware on your computer, which is basically a program that would track what keylogging you did, any like typing on any website. It would tell them what you typed where. And phishing scams, those are the same as the email scams, where they can just get your password that way if they like request it and you believe them. And anyone with easy access to their passwords, for whatever reason, they just are bad passwords, they're not strong, or they're putting them out there somewhere. So what can be done to stop all this? First of all, the incorporation of DMoSs, which basically work by the user certification in the user layer, monitoring and control in the application layer, app control in the framework layer, and system resource access control in the kernel layer. So basically that means like every single layer of the device has a different set of like protection for it. So it wouldn't just be one door open into everything. It's like one door, and then there's like a gate in front of all the other doors that they would have to get through also. So it would just make it not only take a lot longer, but be a lot harder. So, and then longer minimum password length. And this quote by the FBI talking about the pros and cons to making what they call a passphrase. So this involves combining multiple words into a long string of at least 15 characters. The extra length of a passphrase makes it harder to crack, while also making it easier for you to remember. So when they say it makes it harder to crack, they actually mean that mathematically, like they worked it out mathematically with some of the best password crackers like in the FBI, and they said it's like an exponential growth for how long it would take to crack longer passwords. So to begin, DMoSs stand for Deep Mobile Operating System Securities. So on the right is a picture of how they kind of work. And the role-based access control on the DMoS security technique makes it so when a subject makes a request for a specific action to an object, the security of the device will determine whether to allow or deny the request. So like I said earlier, at every single kind of wall they would get to, they would have to be allowed into every single new part or every single new file or folder that they would want to get to. Regarding passwords and password lengths, if you're told to select a 12-character password that can include uppercase and lowercase letters and the 10 digits and symbols, and you would have 72 possibilities for each 12 of the characters of the password, the size of the possibility space would then be 72 to the 12th power, which is more than 62 trillion times the size of the first space using one character. So a computer running through all the possibilities for your 12-character password one by one would take 62 trillion times longer. just to give you a sense of how much it actually makes a difference making a longer password. The computers that we have just aren't fast enough. No hacker has a computer fast enough or strong enough, powerful enough to crack something that would take trillions of like years potentially if it's a really long password. So to conclude, the inclusions of DMOSs will adequately aid in Android security because it would put a new firewall in front of every single file and folder for the hacker to then have to get through after that. So they would have to know exactly what they're going for and exactly where to look. And longer minimum password specifications would easily deter hackers because they just wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't have the time to do it. They wouldn't have the computing power to do it. So yeah, pretty much all I can give you.